Impatience never commanded success. Edwin H. Chapin. My friends, don't be impatient. Each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes. Don't worry about how long it takes you to learn to master the markets. Why? Because once you do, you'll make up for every second you ever spent. And it's fun learning. The learning curve is, again, it's going to be what it's going to be. But enjoy it while you do it. I enjoy it every day. I come here every day, bring you this information for free. And of course, we do so much appreciate the sponsors. That is our Patreon members that underwrite the cost of the platform, the email service, all the other stuff. Thank you guys so much. If you want to sponsor us, then of course, just become a Patreon member. You can find us at Patreon under Charting Wealth. We also have a link in the show notes. If you're not a subscriber for free every day, you're not getting the trainings we put out each and every day. They are great trainings. And that volume training we put out yesterday, phenomenal. I'm going to put it out again today at the end of today's video. Now, for the regular trainings, they come in your show notes each and every day that we email to you. If you go and sign up at chartingwealth.com, that list is never spammed, never shared. Let's jump into these charts. And by the way, Patreon, the folks who are thinking about Patreon membership, the minute you sign up, you get the 3-part series, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. I think it's the very best option training on the internet, and I hope you will too. And it's for free at any of the 3 levels of Patreon support. We see stocks and bonds are up for the day along with Bitcoin. Gold is down. Let's jump first into the S&P 500, just ticking up a little bit, 0.34%. Look at that beautiful green up candle. Look at the volume 3 days in. Looks like we should get up to average or above average volume. We want to see that keep moving up. Latest 2-day candle is a little bit higher. First day of the latest 2-day candle. It's above, of course, decently above the weekly trend line, as is the half-day chart. And again, things moving in the right direction. I would expect to pull back at some point. And again, I went ahead for you and I put a ray in here, a purple ray from the previous high. This is where we hit the highest high and we look at it and it is 363.67. Where are we now? I'm sorry, I said 363. 563.67. We are now at 560.62. So we got $3 more. Will we hit it and push through? Will we hit it and bounce off? Let's pay attention. That's a good question. So we're long the S&P. Of course, my trade is not on the S&P. It's on the NASDAQ 100. You see how much higher we have to go. We don't have as limited a ceiling. And of course, it was up for the day a little more, 0.47%. We had a nice green spinning top, nice high interim bottom, nice green spinning top turnaround, and nice gains this week. We're getting, we got 2 more days to hit that average volume or above, which I hope we do, decently above on the 2-day chart, above that weekly trend line, as well as with the half-day chart up in the morning, about the same in the afternoon. Again, we're long the NASDAQ 100. Things are doing great. You might say, Tom, how did things just turn around so quickly? Well, as I've said to you guys over and over again, it's an election year. Do not be surprised in an election year if the powers in charge, who would like to continue to stay in charge, do whatever they can do to keep the market going. No surprise. What about 20-year U.S. government bonds? They're sitting right there. That candle's sitting right there on our ceiling. We do have a wick pushing above, but look at where the candle is. We can see on the 2-day it's pushing through. Half-day has pushed through. So let's keep an eye on things and see just how high they'll go. Might they climb all the way up to the tippy top here on the peak of the weekly candle on the week beginning the 5th of August? That is indeed possible. We might see it push through there. We will keep an eye on things as time moves along. Again, almost flat for the day, 0.06%, so very little movement. And again, we don't have a trade on 20-year bonds. Why? Well, the reason why is because 20-year U.S. government bonds haven't given us a reason. We don't have volume backing up the moves and clean weekly vertical crossovers, which is what we trade off of. What about gold? Gold pulling back a little bit for the day, 0.13%. Down in the morning, up some in the afternoon, but not enough to get it above the line. So just a little down, 0.13%. We can see where we had a interim high back on the 2-day candle. We're not up there yet on the first day of this latest candle. That was the 19th and 20th of August, the Monday, Tuesday 2-day candle, this Wednesday candle. Not going up to that high. Week, of course, the weekly chart, we are moving up to a higher high, already almost up to average volume. So let's see if indeed gold is just going to continue to move up. We've removed our ceiling because we pushed through it. It's no longer good to us. So we'll continue to keep an eye on gold, like we said, pulling back a little bit for the day. Only red we see on the chart is that, of course, we had down weeks last week and the week before. We've not rotated this chart over yet, but this is a decent day up as we went from a red spinning top to, well, almost a red doji to a, well, let's blow that up and just see. It looks like it's a green. It is a little green doji there. And, of course, we can always blow everything big enough to get something out of it, but as we look at it on the weekly chart, pretty much a doji, but it is going green, up 3.54%. Now, we had the interim high last week with decent volume. This week, not a whole lot of volume there. I mean, if Bitcoin took off over the next 2 days, could it bring that up to average volume? Perhaps, but look how weak the 2-day volume is. Half-day volume, we saw some in the afternoon moving up, but again, we don't have anything that's getting us super excited about volume taking off on Bitcoin. So we'll keep our eye on things and see how that continues to go. But it is good to see some green on Bitcoin. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. Now, Patreon members, I've already published at the Patreon page, charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies for you. We release that early. To our Patreon members, we release it to everyone else on Friday. And of course, when we hit Thursday afternoon, I will be putting out for our Patreon members exclusively. They receive the weekly vertical crossovers. Typically, we look to have around 20. We try to find them both going up and going down, depending on the week. Sometimes it's a big up week or a big down week. We'll only have up or down ones. And again, it just depends. Sometimes we have up to 20, sometimes less. And they're always good things for you to look at, practice, find some good ones to potentially practice trade on Friday, and see how much you are learning. That is where we are, folks. We so appreciate you being with us. Always love to hear from you. cw@chartingwealth.com is the email address. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.